I am your regular host, Georgina Ndukwe, welcoming you to another time with us on Telecom Today. The program by the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, is meant to inform and educate you on the latest trend in ICT. You can listen to Telecom Today on the network service of the Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, FRCN, every Wednesday by 7:30 p.m. and on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, on Fridays by 6 o'clock and Tuesdays on NTA International by 6:30 in the evening. Once again, welcome. In this edition, West Africa Telecommunications Regulators Assembly to pursue regulatory excellence as it signs agreement with the federal government of Nigeria. Entertainment industry to witness boom with the pursuit of broadband deployment. Renewal and Alternative Energy Society of Nigeria confers a fellowship award on the EVC of NCC. Our news of the week is on Industry Stakeholder Forum and Hackathon Award organized by USPF in Lagos. The consumer segment will focus on phone etiquette. Now, this is the outlook on this week's edition of Telecom Today, which promises to be very interesting and educative. Please stay tuned. Welcome back. Towards the acceleration of the process of designing and adopting a comprehensive framework for the regulation of telecommunication activities in Nigeria, the West Africa Telecommunication Regulations Assembly, WATRA, has signed an agreement. The agreement is coming on the heels of Nigeria assuming the headquarters of WATRA. With this agreement, Nigeria and the sub-region are set to experience further growth in the industry, just as WATRA leadership commends Nigeria for its excellent regulation of the industry.
The federal government has signed an agreement with the West Africa Telecommunications Regulators Assembly, WATRA, to adopt a framework for the regulation of telecoms activities. Speaking at the ceremony, the Minister of Communication, Mr. Adebayo Shitu, said the Federal Executive Council has approved Nigeria to host the headquarters of WATRA. The Communications Minister commended the NCC for playing a vital role in the establishment of WATRA.
The objective of the organization is to foster liberalization and competition, of course, a positive contribution, through the establishment of modern legal and regulatory structure for telecommunications delivery in the West African sub-region, and to achieve common viral telecommunications market in a very, very competitive atmosphere.
On his part, Professor Umar Dambata, the Executive Vice Chairman of the NCC, appreciated the federal government for accepting to host WATRA as a regulatory body for the African sub-region in Nigeria, while stating that the signing of the agreement would no doubt accelerate the process of designing and adopting a comprehensive framework for the regulation of telecommunications activities in the sub-region and further reduce drop calls to the barest minimum.
So far, WATRA has been at the forefront of the campaign for infrastructure sharing, co-location services amongst member states, and has contributed to the development of policies to enhance universal access and telecommunications penetration in rural, unserved and underserved areas in the sub-region. The organization has promoted the establishment and operation of efficient, adequate and cost-effective telecommunications networks and services in the West African sub-region, which has been able to at least meet the diverse needs of customers while being economically sustainable.
Responding, the Executive Secretary of WATRA, Mr. El-Aji Lamino, said the organization was set up to encourage the establishment of modern and regulatory structures for telecom service delivery in all states in the sub-region. Mr. Lamino commended federal government and Ministry of Communication for the support in achieving the laudable agreement for the benefit of West Africa and Africa at large.
This medium once more to commend the Nigerian Communication Commission NCC for pioneering the creation of WATRA. NCC leadership in the regulation telecommunication has been a leading force behind the recent date of WATRA being established in Nigeria. The NCC's success story in the development of telecommunication industry in Nigeria contributing immensely to the socio-economic development of Nigeria and by extension, West Africa, is widely acknowledged as best practice in Africa and the world.
WATRA is an organization that consists of independent national regulatory authorities and departments for regulation of telecommunication services established by governments of member states in ECOWAS and Mauritania. Its mission is to promote rapid and even development in telecommunication in West Africa.
For quite some time now, the Nigeria entertainment industry has been a force to be reckoned with internationally. The feat is thriving on information and communication technology ICT platform to project its activities. However, it is being projected that with more broadband deployment, the industry will witness what experts describe as entertainment revolution. This was at the 4th edition of the Nigerian Entertainment Conference held in Lagos.
Experts believe that the telecoms industry has the enabling environment to help Nigerian entertainment industry grow bigger and acquire more revenue than it is presently. It is equally a known fact that most successes of artists, celebrities, movie makers, and giant brands in the entertainment industry cannot be completely measured without considering the amount of online downloads, followers, and bloggers, coupled with the feedback from fans. The future of the industry increasingly relying on information technology and the World Wide Web, which has taken the Nigerian entertainment to another level, was the focus of the 4th edition of the Nigerian Entertainment Conference held at the Landmark Event Center, Lagos, where the cream de la cream in the entertainment industry hailed the Nigerian Communications Commission for creating a platform for artists to sell themselves not just in their countries, but a large audience across the world.
People get to hear so many things that go on behind the scenes in the entertainment industry, and that's why I'm so grateful to the NetNG for putting this platform together to educate Nigerians, give them more insight into the entertainment industry.
The world is actually in our hands these days, so what's more, like if it's entertainment, if it's blogging, it's all digital right now, which is the reason why most musicians, when they release albums, they hardly even do album launch anymore. They just put the link out there and it becomes a hit. So it's a good thing for them to create a better platform for this to be easier, so it's fluid. And
artists now have to go and embrace the internet, because right now I cannot be everywhere at the same time, and now the world has become a global village, and the World Wide Web has made it like very easy for me to connect with my fan in Tokyo, for me to connect with my fan in the United States, for me to connect with my fan in a bedroom in Australia. And if I can capitalize on that and I can sell my product to that person, either via my brand placement, my brand personality, or whatever it is I want to give back to whoever is following me, it gives me access, direct access and direct marketing opportunities to those consumers. So right now I don't need a third party to do it before I can get it done.
Speaking on the impact of ICT on the lives of Nigerians more than any other sector, the Executive Vice Chairman of the NCC, Professor Umar Dambata, represented by the Director of Public Affairs of the NCC, Mr. Tony Ojobo, disclosed that the entertainment industry is driven by available ICT tools, especially the internet. He stated that the auction of the 2.6 GHz spectrum band by the Commission in May will further deepen broadband penetration and allow for more revenue generation from caller tunes and other internet-inclined services. He also stated that the growth of the Nigerian entertainment industry will know no bounds when this is done.
We envisage that with the licensing of the new infrastructure companies, as well as the broadband service providers, within maybe a very short while, we're going to begin to see prices come down. You see, the reason why the prices are a bit high now is because of the infrastructure deficit we have in the system. You see, what we have available is not enough to meet the demand that we have. So, by introducing additional players, we'll have more supplies available in terms of bandwidth availability to people, then of course prices will begin to come down. And the Nigerian consumer will be better for it.
Commending the Commission for the support not only for the entertainment industry but for Nigerians in general, the founder of Nigerian Entertainment Conference, Mr. Ayeni Adekunle, has this to say.
You can imagine how it is now that we are doing more of data activities than voice activities. You can imagine the level of mobile internet penetration in Nigeria. So what you need to look at is the context of today's youth and how they engage on the day-to-day. So if you look at an organization like NCC and they are here today, they've supported this conference, what you can imagine is that how better will we do if we have access to data, if we have access to analytics, if we have access to the kind of policies that can ensure that industries collaborate because as you see, the telecommunication guys, who are a very, very critical sector of our economy, rely on entertainment to drive their activities.
The theme of this year's Nigerian Entertainment Conference, tagged Entertainment Industry as Last Hope for Africa's Largest Economy, is geared towards bringing practitioners in Nigeria together while taking concrete steps to study and master global trends for the benefit of practitioners, consumers, and corporate society. Atinuke Tukura, Telecom Today.
Next on our news update, the Executive Council of the Renewable and Alternative Energy Society of Nigeria has conferred the Society's prestigious Fellowship Award on the EVC of NCC during the 6th Conference and Annual General Meeting at the University of Nsukka, Enugu State.
The need to improve on the energy services in the country formed the central message by Professor Umar Dambata, the Executive Vice Chairman of the Nigerian Communications Commission, as he was conferred with an outstanding award of fellowship by the Renewable and Alternative Energy Society of Nigeria, RESEN, in Enugu State, southeast Nigeria. The event was the 6th Annual International Conference and 3rd Fellowship Investiture of RESEN at the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. In his goodwill message at the occasion, the NCC chief, represented by Engineer Fidelis Ona, Director Technical Standards of NCC, spoke on the essence of renewable and alternative energy sources to national development and the need for governance to fully embrace it.
This renewable energy is a very key aspect of growth in Nigeria. And telecommunication is also one of the key areas that you need such energy resources. Because there are places you will need to put some base stations that are so remote that you don't even have the national energy grid. And it's such a case of renewable energy, which is very scalable. It will come very handy to power such small base stations and remote areas.
According to the president of Renewable and Alternative Energy Society of Nigeria, Mr. Chidi Akujo, the EVC was honored with the Distinguished Fellowship Award for his role in the growth of the society.
Still to come on Telecom Today is our News of the Week segment. Please stay tuned. Do not go away.
The Commission in March 2016 instituted a consultative process that will culminate in the review of the framework for the provision of value-added services in Nigeria, especially content services, as requested by the Commission and in fulfillment of the provision of Section 71/72 of the Nigerian Communications Act, NCA 2003. Stakeholders, including value-added service licensees, have submitted their comments within the stipulated period. Consequently, the Nigerian Communications Commission hereby invites all stakeholders to a consultative forum on the draft regulatory framework for the provision of value-added services in Nigeria, scheduled to take place as follows. Venue: Lagos Sheraton Hotel and Towers, Mobolaji Bank, Anthony Way, Ikeja, Lagos. Date: Wednesday, 27th April 2016. Time: 9 a.m. prompt. For further inquiries, please contact Ms. Funlola Akiode, Director Licensing and Authorization, Nigerian Communications Commission, on 09-462-8700. Announcer Tony Ojobo, Director Public Affairs, NCC.
Welcome to the News of the Week segment. The Universal Service Provision Fund, USPF, recently organized a Stakeholders Forum and Hackathon Award in Lagos. The event was organized by the Nigerian government, supported by the Universal Service Provision Fund, USPF, and Lagos-based incubator IDEA. The hackathon event is designed to prompt ideas that will help drive ICT penetration to unserved and underserved communities in Nigeria. At the event, awards were presented to deserving Nigerian individuals and corporate organizations, including the boss of the Nigerian telecom regulator.
The Executive Vice Chairman of the Nigerian Communications Commission, Professor Umar Dambata, has promised to provide subsidies to telecom infrastructure companies who would take telecom infrastructure and services to underserved and unserved areas around the country in order to connect 33.7 million Nigerians yet to have access to telecom services. Speaking in a keynote address delivered at the just concluded Universal Service Provision Fund (USPF) Unfocused Industry Stakeholders Forum and Hackathon Award held in Lagos with the theme Universal Access Eliminating the Inclusion Barriers, said that efforts are being channeled from different angles in the industry to further bridge this gap. The EVC, during a question and answer session, said the new framework being fine-tuned by a task force set up by him is fashioned to give subsidy to infracos as part of the rollout plans to fast-track telecom access to underserved and unserved areas nationwide.
To say that the infraco licensing model that we are trying to finish fine-tuning and use to license potential companies that will be applying for the license has a component for subsidy. Subsidy, reducing the licensing fees in order to provide encouragement for deeper infrastructure penetration, especially in rural areas. The Commission is, I think, looking at that.
Professor Dambata further stressed that the unserved population in Nigeria has been reduced from 36.8 million in 2013 to 33.7 million in 2015 based on the Access Gap study using the 150 million population benchmark. He however noted that the USPF will be playing significant role in achieving 4 of the 8-point agenda of the Commission towards repositioning the telecoms industry.
The Commission's strategy is to facilitate and support availability of broadband services by promoting deployment of universally available fast and reliable network infrastructure that will stimulate seamless broadband penetration to drive technology innovations and overall productivity of the economy. The USPF's infrastructure projects have been designed to deepen broadband penetration in a pervasive manner in the unserved and underserved areas.
Presenting the challenges militating against the speedy achievement of USPF's target, Secretary to the USPF, Mr. Ayuba Shuaibu, noted that operators who have signed development partnership agreements with USPF on private-public participation model were citing the Forex policy as excuse for not rolling out services on areas agreed since the past 9 months. According to him, operators allocated sites for 9 months on the USPF incentive-based collaboration to extend service to the rural areas cite Forex frustrations as reason for their inability to roll out.
We have 2 broad programs that are designed to complement each other in facilitating the universal access and universal service. That's connectivity and access. Connectivity is mostly subsidy provision, lowering the entry level in rural areas, just like I said earlier, increasing the availability of service, while access is mostly grant provision, creating demand, resulting in the ability of projects, sustainability of projects through digital inclusion.
The NCC plans to issue licenses to Infracos to cover the 5 remaining geopolitical zones in Nigeria, namely Southwest, South-South, Southeast, Northeast, and Northwest. Meanwhile, IHS and Main One Cable Company have already been issued Infraco licenses for the North Central and Lagos zones. Atinuke Tokura, Telecom Today.
If you are just joining us, this is Telecom Today, powered by the NCC. Welcome to the consumer segment, which is on phone etiquette. Correspondent Atinuke Tokura is our guide. Please enjoy.
There is no gainsaying that mobile phones, especially smartphones, allows you to connect with the world in seconds and exposes you to an array of entertainment and interactive platforms just at the tap of your phone button. But nowadays, it appears that the mobile phones, which bring us closer to our family and friends from a distance, tends to pull us apart. Telecom Today crew is on the streets to find out how many people observe phone etiquette.
Well, maybe something like you are with your friends or you are having a meeting and then your message, or you got a message or someone calls you, and then the phone will start ringing and it will be very loud. And you cannot, maybe your phone is not a phone that you can just silence it. It's either you cut it or you answer the call. So you find yourself in the state of confusion.
I found myself glued to my phone when conversing with people sometimes, and it's very hard to hold a conversation in real life and still be on phone. So I find myself being distracted, both with the conversation and the phone. It's not proper. It's not proper because the idea of these phones are to engage you when you're free, when you're in your leisure time, not when you're supposed to be maybe having an important conversation or exchanging pleasantries with someone. You're busy on your phone. I think it's poor. I am working on it anyway. I would like to change that about myself because it's very rude.
If it's public like that, people don't mind if my phone is in outdoor, then yeah, no problem. But I normally put my phone in vibration. Maybe unless I'm at home or public like with my friends. But if it's like in classroom, then it's in vibration. It's like a must.
Maybe if you are with your friends or your family people, if your phone rings, you can, if the issue that you people are discussing is not much important, you can say, excuse me, then you pick your phone, you answer briefly, then you may tell the person that called you that you are in a meeting. If it is a meeting, you can tell the person that you are in a meeting. Then maybe later you call, or he should call you, or she will call you back later, then you continue with what you are saying there.
It appears that most mobile phone users have become obsessed with their phones, whether at work, at home, with friends, or even on the road. Mobile phone users need to consider some telephone etiquette tips that should be followed at all times. Keep your phone aside during conversations. Always give your family and friends your undivided attention. Cultivate the habit of always turning off your cell phone ringer when entering a meeting, a place of worship, theater, or classroom. Do not allow interruptions to occur during conversations. Do not carry on side conversations with other people around you. The person on the phone takes precedence. Atinuke Tokura, Telecom Today. The Nigerian Communications Commission has concluded arrangement for the second edition of the annual Lawn Tennis League Championship tagged NCC Tennis Cup, managed by the International Tennis Academy (ITA). The second edition is scheduled to start May 2016. Objectives of the competition: to positively engage tennis players and provide a platform to improve and showcase their talent, build interest in the sport and raise the standard of the game in Nigeria, contribute to the speed and growth of the sport by taking top-level tennis in all parts of the nation, give recognition to top tennis players through prize monies and empower them to launch professional careers abroad, attract sponsorship to teams which then train as squads with professional coaches, promote healthy competition in the game of tennis across the country. Eligibility: the competition is open to teams from clubs, states, companies, and institutions. Teams must have a minimum of 2 tennis courts in good condition and with space for spectators. All entries must be sent on or before Friday, 6th May 2016. The competition shall consist of round-robin group matches leading up to the semi-finals and finals. Each tie shall feature 2 men's singles with reverses, 1 ladies single, 1 men's double, and 1 mixed doubles. Each match shall be decided by the best of 3 sets with a regular tie break at 6-6 in all sets. Registration. A team shall register a minimum of 6 players and a maximum of 8 in order of their rankings. Winning prizes. Winning team is going on with 7 million naira. Runner-up, 5 million naira. Third place, 3 million naira, and fourth place, 2 million naira. Entries should be submitted to the International Tennis Academy, Lagos Lawn Tennis Club, Racecourse, Lagos. For more inquiries, you can call 0803-711-5438 or 0818-785-8576 or 0802-222-7094. Email tennisafrica@yahoo.co.uk or gougboh@ncc.gov.ng. For further details, please visit www.tennisafrica.com and www.ncc.org.ng. Announcer Tony Ojobo, Director Public Affairs, NCC.
This is the much we can take on this week's edition of Telecom Today. I'm sure you enjoyed it. Tune in next week, same time for another episode. Until then, please remember to send us your feedback and comments through the NCC website, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Remember, you can always call our toll-free customer care line 622 for any service complaints. I am Georgina Ndukwe. Thank you very much for finding time with us on Telecom Today. Bye for now.